Look, I understand that there's people out there who are not happy with the Stanley Cup final matchup we got. You got a lot of people saying, hey, I've been a fan of my team for decades. Vegas is barely 6 years old and is going to their second Stanley Cup final with an even better chance to win than the first time around. And you've got Florida where a lot of people, and this is not me, don't shoot the messenger, a lot of people saying they have no fans. By the way, sidebar on that, they have more fans than you think they do. And I think this playoffs has done a really good job at showing that. But there's a lot of fan bases who have gone through a ton of heartache in the past few years. One in particular, I think you know who I'm talking about, but seeing a cup final like this, it hurts, and it's normal, but there's way too much discourse going on right now about this cup final that it's going to be boring. That I don't agree with. You can say all you want that you don't like the matchup, it's gross, it's not good for the game, it's not good for ratings, whatever you want to say, but whatever you do, don't call it boring. Because true hockey fans, not just being a fan of a certain team, and when that team's out, or the two teams you cheer for are out, you're checked out completely from the playoffs, but a true hockey fan who enjoys the sport and wants to watch it, recognizes the allure and the awesomeness of this matchup. Despite it being good for ratings or not, who cares about that? I mean, I understand that as fans, it's good for us if the game is growing and it's making more money, it's going to make for a better product, but at the end of the day, that's not for us to worry about. They've signed the TV deals already. They're working on the marketing. There's departments for that, I assure you. Just focus on enjoying the hockey. And that's not something I'll take. This is going to be a fantastic, fun, entertainment-filled matchup. So you can say all you want that it's a gross matchup, whatever you want to say, but it's not going to be boring, I promise you. And for the fans who are saying that, I'd love to know the reason why they think it's going to be boring. Is it because there's no McDavid? Because there's no Matthews? Because there's no heated rivalry? I assure you, the rivalry is going to get heated extremely quick. Trust me, you will not have to hold your breath on that. That's the Stanley Cup final, man. I mean, by the first intermission, these two teams are going to be hating each other's guts. This is the hardest trophy to win in all of sports. If you were to put two beer league teams against each other to play for the Stanley Cup, there would be animosity. That part, you're covered. Trust me. And if star power is what you want, high skills stars, Matthew Tkachuk, Barkov, Mark Stone, Jack Eichel, Pietrangelo, like the list goes on and on. Trust me, the series is going to be filled with star power too. Just because there's no Crosby or Ovechkin or Matthews or McDavid doesn't mean that there's no star power in a Stanley Cup final. And look, you can go back and watch all of my old videos. I mention in so many of them that, hey, I want an all-Canadian Cup final. I'm cheering for Canadian teams to go deep in the playoffs. That's what I want to see. I've been banging that drum. Okay, I really have been for a long, long time. And even I recognize that, okay, there's no Canadian teams here. This is still going to be extremely fun to watch. It's going to be a great cup final. Buckle up. This needs to stop, okay? I mean, just because it's not a really small subset of teams with a really small subset of players playing in the cup final doesn't mean it's boring. And also, just because they're two non-traditional, non-classic hockey markets doesn't mean that this is going to be boring. Yes, putting a hockey team in Vegas or in Sunrise, Florida is Looney Tunes when it was going to happen, like when it was announced. But now, it works, it's fun, it's going to be just fine, I promise you. If you're a hockey fan, tune in, you will love this stuff. And if you are just a fan of one team, hey, at least you can go to bed a bit earlier. But when you wake up in the morning, I'd be willing to bet that you're going to feel like you missed out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.